Okay, POE, welcome to RobotC for Vex Robotics 4.0. These will be using the 4.0 Cortexes, and there's a couple of different things that we need to do before we get started on the setup. First thing I need us to do is we're going to go up to the robot button and we're going to click on that. Then I want you to move down and I want you to make sure of a couple of things. I want you to make sure that the platform type says that it's the Vex 2.0 Cortex. And then I also want you to make sure that you've got this checked that says Natural Language PLTW. This will give us a couple of extra options that we don't normally have. So make sure that this is clicked, and you may have to go back up and then click on the next part, Natural Language. And then make sure that whenever it says Vex Robotics, that this arrow goes out to the side, and make sure that you have it on Vex 2.0 Cortex and not Vex IQ. So we need those three things. We need Vex 2.0 Cortex, we need Vex 2.0 Cortex here for Vex Robotics, and we need the natural language. This will help us make sure that we've got everything where we need it to be. The next thing that we need to do is, since there's a really good chance that you haven't had these things on for an entire, or that I haven't had these things on for an entire year, is that we want to make sure that we can update the Vex Cortex. Sometimes these come out brand new. Sometimes these have been in a box for years, and you might want to get them to be updated. So you need to go to download firmware, and while the Cortex is connected, I want you to hit automatically update Vex Cortex and let it run through its thing. And whenever it does that, we'll be ready to go. Give it just a few seconds. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to get ourselves set up with a new robot setup for this. So we're going to go to a new file, and I'm just going to make one, and it just has like just a regular like task main in here. We can type code inside these brackets, and it'll be really helpful for us to be able to do that. Now, the next thing that we need to do before we actually start typing in any code is we've got to go up to where it says motor and sensor setup. We made an entire test bed, and we're going to have to actually put all of these things from our test bed into our computer setting. So this is like probably one of the most important parts of creating a new file and then wanting to use the same settings from that new file, because creating a new file and typing in these settings every single time is going to be really, really crazy, and I don't recommend doing that. I'm going to teach you the lovely benefits of using the file save as button, and it's going to make our lives a whole lot easier. It's also easier that we're all using the same format, so if we could just plug in different test beds or different cortexes, it wouldn't make any difference at all. So where we have the analog sensors, we're going to put in the analog sensors. Where we have the digital sensors, we're going to put in the digital sensors. And the motors, don't forget port 1 and port 10 have to be 2-wire, and any one of these inside can also be 3-wire. You can specify what type of motor that you have. Make sure that you select the difference between a motor and a servo. The motors that we have is the 393 motors. And don't forget that you can also pick a flashlight, even though a flashlight is not really a motor. It goes in these sections anyway. So motors go in this section, just like we have on the sheet. And the analog sensors are going to go here, just like we have in the sheet. And the digital sensors are going to go here, just like we have in the sheet. We're going to follow the directions for that, and hopefully we'll get those put in. That's where all three of these locations go. And if you have any questions, make sure to let me know. And y'all have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow. I'll have another video of it showing up later.